The golden age of Hollywood has lost another one of its beloved figures. Edward, Ed, Faulkner, the towering actor known for his rugged Western roles and unforgettable presence alongside icons like John Wayne and Elvis Presley, passed away peacefully at the age of 93. His death marks the end of an era that celebrated grit, loyalty, and authenticity on the silver screen. While he was often cast as a villain or a rough-edged character, in real life Faulkner was known as a devoted husband, father, grandfather, and friend who carried himself with grace, humor, and kindness. A leap day beginning. Edward Fielden Faulkner II was born on February 29, 1932, in Lexington, Kentucky. Born on Leap Day, Faulkner often joked that he only got to celebrate his real birthday once every 4 years. Growing up in Kentucky, he showed early promise both on the stage and in athletics, with a natural charisma that suggested a future in public life. But before Hollywood beckoned, duty called. Faulkner served as a fighter pilot in the United States Air Force, where he rose to the rank of first lieutenant. Those formative years instilled in him discipline, courage, and composure under pressure, traits that would later translate seamlessly into his on-screen portrayals of soldiers, cowboys, and hard-edged men of action. Finding Hollywood. In the late 1950s, Faulkner moved to Los Angeles to pursue acting. His break came when he met director Andrew V. McLaglen, who was closely associated with the Western genre. Through that connection, Faulkner entered the inner circle of John Wayne, one of the biggest stars of the 20th century. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches with a commanding frame, Faulkner was tailor-made for westerns. He wasn't the marquee name on the poster, but his presence was unmistakable. He was the guy audiences recognized instantly, the one who looked like he could ride a horse all day, throw a punch in a saloon brawl, or march into battle without hesitation. With John Wayne, Edward Faulkner appeared in 6 films with Wayne, McClintock. 1963, The Green Berets. 1968, Hellfighters. 1968, The Undefeated. 1969, Rio Lobo. 1970, and Chisholm. 1970. In these movies, Faulkner often played soldiers, henchmen, or deputies, reliable supporting characters who gave Wayne's heroes someone to fight alongside or against. Fans of Wayne's films grew accustomed to seeing Faulkner at the Duke's side, making him one of the most familiar faces in Wayne's late career catalog. Though he was sometimes cast as an antagonist, Wayne reportedly respected Faulkner's work ethic and authenticity. Many fans consider Faulkner one of the unsung pillars of Wayne's later films, an actor whose quiet professionalism elevated every scene. With Elvis Presley, Faulkner's Hollywood journey wasn't confined to westerns. In the early 1960s, he crossed paths with another American icon, Elvis Presley. He first appeared, uncredited, in Presley's musical comedy G.I. Blues 1960. But his most memorable role with Elvis came in Tickle Me 1965, where he played Brad Bentley. The lighthearted Presley vehicle gave Faulkner a chance to display his versatility, proving he could do more than just play stoic cowboys. For Elvis fans, Faulkner became part of that colorful roster of supporting players who made the King's movies charming slices of mid-century Americana. Television success. Beyond the big screen, Faulkner left his mark on television. He appeared in Gunsmoke, Bonanza, Rawhide, The Virginian, and Have Gun, Will Travel, further cementing his place as a staple of Western entertainment. But he wasn't limited to the saddle. Faulkner popped up on Gilligan's Island, The Mod Squad, Adam 12, and The $6 Million Man. His versatility made him a reliable guest star who could convincingly slip into a variety of roles, from lawmen to villains to everyday working men. The man behind the roles. Off-screen, Edward Faulkner was nothing like the villains he so often portrayed. In interviews, he laughed about his tendency to lose every fight on screen. "I never won a fight in Hollywood. I was always the bad guy. The other fellow always got the girl and the glory." In reality, Faulkner won where it mattered most. He married his high school sweetheart, Barbara, and the two shared nearly 6 decades of life together before her passing in 2013. Together they raised 4 children, Jan, Barbara, Leslie, and Edward III, and built a family anchored in love, faith, and humor. He was a proud grandfather to 5 grandchildren, who remember him not just as a movie actor, but as a playful man who loved to perform magic tricks at family gatherings. A peaceful goodbye. Faulkner passed away on August 26, 2025, of natural causes at a health care facility in Vista, California. His daughter confirmed his passing, noting that he was surrounded by love in his final days. He was 93 years old. His death leaves behind a filmography spanning more than 50 credits, and a reputation as one of Hollywood's most dependable supporting actors of the 1960s and 1970s. Tributes pour in. Following the announcement, tributes from fans, film historians, and colleagues poured in across social media. Many recalled seeing him in countless John Wayne films, often standing loyally beside the Duke. Others remembered his lighter turn with Elvis Presley, noting how seamlessly he adapted between action and comedy. One fan wrote, "If you know John Wayne's later movies, you know Ed Faulkner. He was always there, a familiar face in the background, giving authenticity to every scene. Rest easy, cowboy." Another added, "Elvis movies were filled with fun characters, and Ed Faulkner made them even better. Thanks for the memories, sir." Film critics remembered him as the kind of actor who represented Hollywood's golden supporting class, those steady professionals who may not have sought the spotlight, but without whom the spotlight would have seemed less bright. A lasting legacy. Edward Faulkner's career was never about stardom, it was about substance. He was the consummate working actor, a man who brought dignity to every role, no matter how small. In a Hollywood that often celebrates its leading men, Faulkner stood as a reminder that great films are built on the shoulders of great character actors. His life was a balance of military service, Hollywood storytelling, family devotion, and personal integrity. To his fans, he will forever be the cowboy riding across the horizon, the soldier standing tall in formation, or the gruff antagonist in a Western duel. To his family, he was far more: a loving husband, a caring father, a doting grandfather, and a man who made magic, both on screen and in their living rooms. Farewell to a Western gentleman. Edward Faulkner may have been cast as the villain time and time again, but he lived as the hero of his own story. At 93, he leaves behind a legacy of films that will continue to entertain generations of movie lovers. He also leaves behind a lesson that kindness, loyalty, and quiet dedication can outshine even the brightest spotlight. As tributes continue to pour in, one thing is clear: Edward Faulkner may have departed this world, but in the reels of Western classics and the hearts of his fans, he will ride on forever.